Hi everyone, Narelle here from Simply Narelle. Today is Monday, it's Tuesday, the 11th of April, 2023, and welcome back to another FlossTube. It's been 2 weeks since I did my last one, which was my whip parade, and thank you to everyone who joined me for that, and all my new subscribers and everyone who watched it. Thank you. It's given me the confidence to do regular floss tubes. So I know I'm only a really little small fry in the cross stitching world, but I love to share what I do, and I know it inspires people because I watch other floss tubers and see everything that they stitch, and then I go, oh, I need that, I haven't seen that, I need to add it to my wish list. Or there's something where you've just seen the pattern, you haven't actually seen it stitched, and a lot of things I've seen are different to the pattern. Like you can see a photo and the chart, but it stitched in real life is so much different and a lot more beautiful in a lot of cases. So that's why I like to share what I'm doing, hopefully to inspire some people. Alright, so I've got a list this time so I don't forget anything. So I've got a lovely little list. So if you see me looking sideways, that is what it is about. And also this could be a little bit disjointed because my husband and son have gone out on some errands, and normally they call me. One of the errands they've got to do is a little bit of grocery shopping, and I don't know about you if your males do any of the shopping, but you can guarantee they're going to call me at least once or twice with a question about something, which I don't mind really because it saves me having to go to the shops, and I'm really not, you know, I used to be a shopaholic. Now it's like, oh, go to the shops only if I really need to. So I'm grateful that he does it for me. It just means that we may be interrupted today, so this video may be in a couple of segments. So if that happens, that's why. Okay, so on my last video, I showed you my finishes and my whips. And then I realized later that there was actually one finish and a whip that I didn't share with you. So I'm going to share them now. This first one is a finish, and it was a stitch along with the Fat Quarter Shop. And let me just put it into a smaller size so that you can see, and put it on my board. Wait a minute. All right, so the lighting as well today is a little bit different. I've got the curtains window open. Curtains window. Yeah, I'm making up my own sentences and not making any sense. Okay, so my desk faces the windows and I've got the curtains open. So there's also a guy across the road doing something on a car. Anyway, yeah, so I've got the windows open and, not the windows open, the curtains open. Oh, that guy is distracting me. So what is he doing? Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to FlossTube. I have the curtains open facing the window so the light is coming in. Hopefully it's a bit better. Means there's a glare in my glasses, but there probably would have been anyway no matter what light I use. So it is what it is, and we'll see how we go. So this is my finish that I didn't show last week. It was a stitch along with the Fat Quarter Shop and called You Are the Boss. And it came with different, it came with an alphabet, so you could change those words in the middle. But this is how it was charted in the stitch along. You are the boss of your own quilt. I didn't want to change those words because I do quilt, and I thought this would be perfect in my little stitching area, because I do quilt, so I thought it'd be really good. So I love the quilt squares on this. Beautiful. I substituted some of the colours. I didn't have all the colours of that at that stage of all the DMC range, so I substituted a few. So it looks a little bit different probably to the original pattern, but I still think that's nice and bright and cheering. And yeah, so that was the finish that I forgot to share with you. The pattern is still available from the Fat Quarter Shop, and I will link it below. The other thing I didn't share was a whip temperature spools. So it's a chart that I have designed, and it is available on my Etsy store. And this is my first ever attempt at designing a temperature chart, and I did the lazy thing, and I've only got the one range of temperatures. So if you live in a really hot climate or a really cold climate, then you probably need to contact me to get an alternate chart of temperatures, or just chart your own colors. Like there's no written rule that your colder temperatures have to be blues and purples. There's no written rule that your hot temperatures have to be oranges and yellows. You can make it as varied as you want, or whatever color range you want to use. So my colors go from, or the temperatures in my chart go from 4 degrees, no, hang on, -1 is the lowest, that's Celsius, which is 31 Fahrenheit, okay, and below. And then it goes up to 44 degrees Celsius or 110 Fahrenheit. Now, saying that in that range, if you live in a temperate climate like mine, then your temperatures are probably going to be around the oranges and the greens, and not move a little bit into the blues and maybe a little bit into the red, but not the extreme colors. So anyway, I'll show you the pattern. It's really hard to work out the temperature ranges and what colors to include and stuff. And like I said, this is my first time, so it may not come out in the colors that you like. So if you purchase the pattern and look at the range and go, well, okay, so for example, 24 to 26 degrees Celsius, which is 76 to 79 Fahrenheit, I have 3 degrees covered on that one color. If you're where you live, you get a lot of predominantly those 3 temperature ranges over your spring, then your chart's going to be the one color in perhaps a whole month, or half a month is one color. So you might want to break that up into smaller colors. So have 24, one temperature, 25, another 26, another. Anyway, if that makes sense. So this is the chart. It's called Temperature Bobbins, and I've designed it with a stitchy theme in mind. So they are obviously the bobbins that you wind your DMC on if you do that. And then just some words thrown in there that are cross-stitch related. All right, so it is quite simple, and I wanted it simple for my first one. I didn't want anything really super fancy. But you can see there, I've sort of charted it for a previous year in Brisbane, which is where I live in Australia. So you can see the oranges and the reds, they're really hot, and the blues and the greens are the cool. I may have fudged a few of those temperatures to get a bit more color in this chart because of where I live. It's sort of, you know, ranges from 34 degrees down to 16, which is not a huge range. And my temperature that I have, the ones that I've chosen, this for example, a lot of it is like from here down to there. So I never go up in here, and I never go down to the really low colors. I'll never get to -1 here in Brisbane ever, unless we go into an ice age, which I hope never happens. Yeah, so I probably need to readjust the scale for like a temperature like a climate like mine. But anyway, it was the first attempt, and if you purchase the pattern and you're not happy with the range, then please contact me and I can work out an alternate. I'm also not very good at promoting my own work. I get really embarrassed about promoting my own work for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not pushy, I'm not, but I felt I needed to show people what I'd done. And I'm also not very good at stitching my own designs, obviously, because this is all that I have. So I've completed January here, and I've got halfway through February, and that is what it's looking like so far. So you can see in January, I had a lot of days that were the same temperature. So it's like very much just the one color, with a few days for the first, 3/4 of the month. A few days that were slightly different. So, but that's the chart. I've got it reasonably priced, I think, on my shop. And like I said, if you want to buy the chart and you have any questions about it, or you want a different temperature range, then feel free to contact me. If you wanted to buy it and do your own temperature range, then go for it. But I hadn't shown that, and that's I wanted to do that. All right. So now, next thing I wanted to talk about was an update about my Project Bag of the Month Club. I had a couple of questions. People messaged me about it. And the first thing was the price was wrong. on the thing I held up last time, I had $35 a month. That was when it started. It's been going for nearly, well, it's probably been going for 8 or so, 9 months or something like that now. And I did increase the price to $40 a month a couple of months ago. But the people who joined up at 35 will continue at 35 until they finish the club. The people who sign up at 40 will continue at $40 a month until they complete their club. If I increase the price in the future, which will be a while off, I don't envisage having to increase the price again for some time. If I do increase the price, then the current members in the club will keep at their sign-up price until they finish the club. That also means if you are American, our exchange rate varies daily. So you may want to sign up on one day and find that it's a certain amount of dollars on that day, and the next day it's either more expensive or less expensive. Then that depends on the exchange rate, okay? So whatever the exchange rate is, what the price is when you join up, is the price you'll continue to pay each month. Unfortunately, that means if it goes up, if the price goes down, the exchange rate drops and it's in your favor and it's now cheaper for you, I can't keep checking the exchange rates and adjusting. So you'll be charged whatever it is that it was whenever you signed up, if that makes sense. The other thing I need to explain is, unfortunately for the US market, there were some recent customs changes and changes to the laws, and some of the things that I used to include in with the bags I can no longer include. You're no longer allowed to export black tea to the US from Australia. So I usually include in with the bags a little tea sachet. For example, something like this. Okay, I'm no longer allowed to send these to the USA. So you won't be getting the tea. The foodstuffs I used to include the little candy, like a couple of 3 little lollies or a Chupa Chup or something like that, something to suck on, something sweet when you stitch. I can't include them anymore unless they have on them the individual breakup of ingredients and the nutrition panel. Now, I'm not going to type out or print out a nutrition panel and ingredients list for 3 little lollies. So it's not going to happen. So I'm not including them. The other thing that is a bit iffy are the needle minders. Because they are magnets, they are on a dangerous, prohibited list. And I guess it comes down to the person, the other end at customs, deciding whether, yes, they're okay to go through or not. So I can't guarantee that they're going to make it. So I'm not going to include them either. So for the USA people, unfortunately, the tea, the lollies and the magnet minder will not be included going forward. I could probably get export licenses for some of these things. The tea, no. But it's going to cost me to get an export license, and really realistically it's not worth that money for the money I make on the bags. So unfortunately that's how it is. The people that I had join from the USA in the past and current USA members are quite happy. Once I explained the situation, they're quite happy to continue just receiving the bags. You get the floss and you get the pattern, the exclusive pattern. So they're happy to continue along like that. So I've had a few people from the USA join up since that change, and I have updated the listing with exactly those details and things that won't be included and why. And they still happily have purchased the listing and joined the club. Hopefully they read the listing completely and they know what's going on, and they're not going to leave me bad feedback and go, I didn't get the needle minder, I didn't get the tea. I don't think so. But just so that you're aware, if you are in the States and you're thinking about joining up, these are the changes that have been made to the club, and that's the reason you won't get some of those items. Now going forward, I am thinking of changing the club so that no one gets the needle minder and the tea and the lollies. You just get perhaps extra floss or something else I can include. Floss drops or extra skeins of floss or something else. I mean, I do like the idea of including the tea and the lollies and the needle minder. You know, it's just something nice, but if it's going to mean I need to have 2 separate clubs, or I need to remember when I'm packing that, oh, this person's in the States and they can't get this item added to their bag, I think for peace of mind for me and to make it more even and more fair for everyone, you're all paying the same price, you should all get the same thing. So I am thinking of changing the club to just include floss drops and extra skein or something, extra skeins of floss and floss drops or something along with the bag. So if you have any ideas on things you'd like to see included in your club bag, or maybe you're in another a club like this and the person who runs your club adds different things, and you have any suggestions for me, then please pop them in the comments below. Yeah, so that's something I need to clear up about the bag of the month. Now, if you want to join, I still do have openings, because the amount of openings per month varies, because people sign up for a 6-month period, then they finish their 6 months, so that will open up a spot. So there's people coming and going in natural progression of the club the whole time. It's not like you sign up within a specified period and that's it, sign-ups are closed. It's an ongoing club, so it keeps rotating around in the memberships. Some months there'll be a lot of memberships if I have a lot of people join in a month, and then they all hit their last month. The following month I'll have all those memberships open. Some months there'll be no memberships open if it's all sort of filled up and everyone's doing their 6 months. That's how it rolls. So yeah. All right, so if you want to sign up, it is $40 Australian a month. That is what it looks like on my Etsy store. My Etsy store will be listed below. All right, now we're going to, one more thing. My standard project bags, which I have one here, okay, as an example. I have had to increase the price on all my project bags in my store, unfortunately. The increasing cost of material and supplies means that I've had to up the price on my bags. It's only $5 per bag. Some people may think that's a big jump, but I don't make a lot of money on these as it is. There's not a huge markup on them. So when you're looking at, you know, $25 or $27 per meter for material, then, and the wadding and the zipper and my time, then the bags are really cheap. So I've absorbed the cost for as long as I can, but I have increased the bags a little bit. So I don't envisage having to put them up again for 12 months unless prices go through the roof and material goes up extraordinarily. Then I'll have to increase the price. But at the moment, they've just gone up to $30 for a standard bag from $25. And then the other bags I've got have also gone up like $5 depending on their size and type of bag. Now, a lot of people tell me they love my bags, they're beautiful quality, they're well made, and they think they're dirt cheap anyway. So I'm hoping people won't object that I've put the price up, but I guess, you know, I have to stay in business and feed the family, and so I have to increase the price, sorry. But anyway, I have uploaded some new ones. I think after I did the last video, I uploaded some envelope ones. This is a smaller envelope one, but this is the style of them. I've uploaded some big ones, and I have lots more cut up ready to upload. And when it comes to this style, I've taken a little bit to get around to getting the right flap size. The ones I have on the store were, I have on the store at the moment, were prototypes, so the flaps are a lot bigger, and I don't like the bigger flaps. I'm going to go back to doing the smaller flaps. So just know those big ones that are on, the envelope ones that are on the store now, are not what they're going to be like going forward. They are prototypes, but they're still quite sizable bags and nothing wrong with them. But anyway, so now we're going to get on to what I stitched on. That's what I have on all my little notes here. Okay, so I worked on the Sing a Sampler series, and I think I worked on this after the last video, but I can't remember. So if I did work on it since the last video, then I will insert a picture here of what it looked like in my whip parade the last time you saw it. And then this is what it looks like now. All right, so I only have the last, oh, sorry, it's a bit, hang on a minute, wait a minute. Where's your board gone? I'll get organised one of these times. I'm sure you don't mind. If you do mine, you wouldn't be watching. Okay, here we go. There we go. So, Singer Sampler series by Cedar Creek Samplings, I think it is. You think I'd know the name. That's really bad. Narelle. Silver Creek Samplings. Anyway, samplers. Gosh. Sorry, I butchered the name. Alright, so they are all but 2 of the series. So the series comes in pairs. If you watched my whip parade, you would have seen that. So this is what they're like. Sorry about the glare. So you get 2 per packet, and there's 4 packets. So I'm on to the last 2. And I had to stop because I ran out of a floss colour. And I had to go buy some more. So I haven't got back to it since then. This is a ongoing sale at the moment. The Sing a Sale. I'll have the hashtag below so you can look it up and see who else is stitching on it. And we're doing it a little bit different to, well, I'm doing it a little bit different to how the designer did it. They did all across on one skinny piece of fabric, but I'm doing mine stacked. They call it stacked. So top and bottom, 2 rows. And the words that are on the bottom of each of the pieces, I'm actually putting top and bottom. So on each of the sections, the words run along the bottom. So for the first 4 sections, I put the words on the top, and then the bottom 4, they'll have the words down the bottom. And also the Sing at the top here, it actually was meant to be on this one, or it's sort of cut between the 2, between this one and this one. And I just squished the words at the top together a little bit more so I could fit it in on that top row. It does hang over a little bit on that last section, but that I don't worry about that. That's fine. If you're going to frame it and have a little bit of a edge around it, people aren't going to notice that it's over a little bit by about 5 stitches or so. So it's fine. I really love how this is coming out. The pattern calls, I think, for Weeks Dye Works and something else. I'm using DMC. I converted it, those colours, to the DMC equivalents, and I'm really loving this. That movie, Sound of Music, is my favourite, one of my favourite movies, in my top 10. So I really love this. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how that's coming out, and I was planning on having a finish for this by the end of April. I'm not sure because I haven't included it in my plans, but then I'm not a very good planner, and you will learn that I plan things and then go, nah, not doing it now. And I don't know whether it's because it's like, well, don't you tell me what to do? Is it like that? I don't know. I can't. Like, I make these plans and then I start along with them and then go, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. And just because I put it in a plan doesn't mean I'm actually going to keep doing it. So that was the Sing a Sale. Sing a Sale, yeah. So, all right, next I worked on the magazine monthly challenge. I decided that, oh, I've got something else here I forgot. I'll show that in a minute. I decided that since I joined the magazine monthly challenge group when it first started last year, September last year, that, or whenever before that, can't remember. I thought, well, isn't it time that I actually started contributing more and participating more? So I decided April I'm going to go for it. I'm going to set really realistic goals because I tend to set really lofty goals and then never meet them. So I've set really realistic goals this time around and thought that I would try and meet them, and I'm going pretty well. So this is the April theme. It's library and the acrostic is shelves. Now you can do the acrostic or not do the acrostic, totally up to you. And the theme one piece should really be from a magazine because that's the whole premise of the group, but they don't care if it's not really. So I just wanted to work on some of my whips, and some are magazines, some are not. So it didn't worry me that it's not a magazine for the main theme. So the theme is library, and I decided to work on Through the Looking Glass from Bothy Threads, Alice in Wonderland. Love this. It's on navy fabric, but I'm finding it not too bad. So I will insert a picture of what it looked like last time you saw it in my whip parade. And this is what it looks like now. Sorry, nothing's ironed. You'll get used to that with me. All right, so there we are. Look at that. I made quite a lot of progress. So the goal was to work on this for 2 days. I think I ended up spending 3 days on it because I'd done Alice and I'd done the rabbit and I'd done these few little icons here, and I'd started her dress in the 2 days. And then I went, well, I'm not going to finish there. I want to finish her, except for the, she's got like a stick wand thing with a heart on the end. I haven't done that, but she's mostly finished. And I thought, I can't stop now. I need to finish it, like finish her. So I've got the 3 of the main characters done. I even did the back stitching on Alice while I was at it, and the bunny rabbit. So I'm going to try and do the back stitching as I go, because it makes a big difference in this piece. Like you've got flowers and buds that really, you know, by themselves would look nothing if you didn't do the back stitching. So I'm going to try and do the back stitching as I go. And plus I don't really like back stitching anymore. I used to. And I get to the end of a piece, and if there's only the back stitching left to go, I want to hurry it through like I did on the one I showed in my whip parade. And I hurried it and made up my own, and yeah. And Laura contacted me from what's her channel? Oh, I'll link it below. But she contacted me and said, you have to redo the ribbon on that piece. And I went, oh, I don't know. So I get lazy at the end when I only have back stitching to go. So I'm going to try and do it as I go this time around and see how it comes out. So that was through the looking glass. Now for the acrostic for the Magazine Monthly Challenge, it is shelves. So for each letter of shelves, you choose a project. So for S, I chose Squirrel Hoop. Now this one is from a magazine. So this is what it looks like. Beautiful squirrel. And I'll insert a picture of what it was like. I don't know where. It's probably going to go over. I'll put a photo in of where it was on my whip parade. And this is what it looks like now. So this one I spent, it's meant to be 1 day, but I think I spent 3 days on this altogether. So there's my squirrel hoop now. Right, and this one I got really frustrated with because I've made some big error, counting error down here, and I can't for the life of me work it out. So it's now gone into the naughty corner until I want to stitch on it again. When I do stitch on it again, I'm going to start from up here and do all the flowers around to work down to the naughty bit and then fudge it. Laura also said to me that I should work out where the error is and fix it. Nope, I'm too lazy for that. It's not going to happen. It's not one of my cross-stitch pieces if there's not an error in it. So, you know, that's me. That's how I stitch, how I roll. No one's going to stare at it and go, oh, look, that is out and that doesn't make any sense. Like, nah, people are going to walk in and go, oh, isn't that nice? So, yeah, that's the squirrel hoop where it stands right now. So I don't know what the error is down the bottom, but I just couldn't work it out. And I went, no, I'm not wasting any more time on this. Fallen out of love with it. It's in the naughty corner. That's where it's going to stay for a while now. So that was squirrel hoop. All right, and then the H in shells I stitched on the I'll Be Home cottages. H for home. And this is by Twin Peak Primitives. I'm doing the all-in-one, so all the cottages are on the one piece of fabric. This is what it looks like. So pretty. If you didn't watch my whip parade, you would have not known that I took a long time to decide to do this, even though I loved it, because January had snow on it. If it's going to snow in Australia, it's not going to snow in January. So I went, it's too Americanized, I don't know. And then May or July, of course, has the American flags. And then I thought about it for a long time. I went, oh, look, just get over it. Majority of the world's in the Northern Hemisphere. They're not going to make something just for us down here, down under. So I started it. So glad I did, because I love it. Right, I started on the May cottage. I will insert a picture of where it was in my whip parade. And then what I'm going to do is just show the May cottage because this is huge. It's like half a bed sheet. So I'm just going to show, I can show April and May because April's really pretty. Oh no, that's not going to work. Here we go. We'll just show April what I've done. And I worked on this for 3 days and my goal, I covered it up, I think it was 1 day. Ah, wrong bit of paper, where'd it go? Here it is. Goal was 1 day and Squirrel Hoop was 1 day as well. So I set realistic goals because I used to put like 4 days, 5 days, and then it's like, I don't want to stitch on it that long. And then I just not do the rest of the goals because I was fed up. So now 1 day is doable. And then if I want to extend it, I can. Like with this one, I did 3 days on this. So I stitched on this up until last night. So that is May, and I'm loving the colours in this one. The mint green and the pink flowers, I just love it. The house is nearly done. I've got all the, whoops, wait a minute. Okay, I've got all the mint done in the house. There's just, I can't remember, it's like a beigey colour across here. The inlay in the door and the windows and shutters to do, and this little bit, and then there's a bit around the edges. So, and then of course there's another one of these on this side, then the May, and there's always something either side of the May, of the word, the month. So that is where I got, that's 3 days worth of work. So I really love it. I think I'm going to put it away now and move on to something else. But I'm happy that I got that much done. So I was really surprised. Of course, it was over Easter. So I had, you know, a lot of the day to stitch. So I got quite a lot of stitching done over the Easter weekend, which was fantastic. Wait, I need to fold this. So my goal with this one, well, it's not a hard goal, it's a like to goal, is try and get this finished this year. So if I keep ahead each month in my months, so I'm working on May in April, and then in May I'll work on June, and if I do that and make sure I get that cottage done in that month, this will be finished by the end of the year. So there's a little bit of leeway there in case something goes awry, but I've lost the picture. Oh no, I haven't put it in there. Okay. So that was I'll Be Home Cottages. And that is all that I worked on. But I do have something else, another whip that I forgot to show you that I've just found in this pile. This whip was from Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Along. And it was Love Potion. So that is what it looks like. And I agreed to participate in this stitch along, but it was just too much stitching for the sections. There's a lot of stitching in this. So I think I did 3 of the sections and I've just got 1 more to do. So it's a lot more stitching than I thought. It's a bit deceiving, the picture. So this is where I got to. So I got 3 of the 4 sections done. I've just got the last section. So I'm in no rush to finish this. If I get it finished this year, then that's very good. If not, then I will do it for next Valentine's. And we don't really celebrate Valentine's in this house. But if it's completed and I remember, I'll pop it out for the day. It doesn't sound very good, does it? I need to reword that. Oh my goodness. I will display it for the day for Valentine's next year if I get it finished. No real goal on this one. It's just in my whip parade. I'll add it to my Tiny Wheel Decide app, and then if it comes up, it comes up and I'll work on it. So, but that was another whip that I forgot to show you. It was in a separate tub and I missed it. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about plans. Now I've done that. Yay! Alright, plans. the monthly magazine challenge. All right, the rest of the acrostic, I've got E for excuse the mess. I will insert a picture here of where it was in my whip parade. Now that's going to be for 2 days. So, because there's 2 E's in shelves. Then the L is Crinoline Lady, and that is a magazine piece. And I'll insert a picture here of where it was in my whip parade. And I haven't worked on it since. The V is Vintage Shoes. I'm pretty sure that is a Busilla kit, if I remember correctly. I'll insert a picture here of where it was. And then the last one, the last S, I have shoe. And that is a cute little shoe that I bought to do for my daughter when she was born. And it's still hanging around and she's 18. So I'll insert a picture here of where that was. And my next FlossTube in 2 weeks time, hopefully I'm going to try and do these fortnightly, because then I should have some stitching to share and the videos aren't going to be exorbitantly long, because I know you all have other people you want to go and watch. Then I'll show my next one, the progress I made on those. The other thing is there's a pop-up challenge in this group from the 17th to 23rd of April, and it's the Earth, What's It Worth? And the idea was to stitch on, or the idea is to stitch on something Earth related, give it 500 stitches across that period of time from the 17th to the 23rd. And I have chosen galahs by the water pump, because galahs are native birds in Australia. So I'm going to work on that one, and this is what it looked like in my whip parade. Okay, now the other thing is I'm going to try and get back to my whip go. I haven't done very well on my whip go at all. I have a few things marked off, but that's because one of them I finished and I had it on there another 2 times, so that was easy. I've done the I'll Be Home cottages. I don't think, oh no, I've done that one. Wow, I was going to say, I don't think I've done one actually in the month. So I've done number 10 and number 17. 10 was called in January, 17 was called in April, and I've completed those 2. So out of the 2, 4, 6, 8 that have been called, I've only completed 2, but I have 5 squares coloured in. So, and that would be because, I don't know why that is. Oh, because I worked on I'll Be Home cottages 2 lots of 5 days. So each one of these is a 5-day goal. Each one of those squares is a 1-day goal. So for 5 days. And yeah, so I've done them. Anyway, next, I just wanted to show a little bit of haul, what I got from Market. I was very, very good at Market for my pre-orders, and I only bought 3 things. I do have some more things coming that I asked a stitching time down in Hobart to get for me, and they are on their way. And then after that, I think I'm going to stop purchasing. I'm going to try and stitch from stash, hopefully. There's going to be things come up that are going to be irresistible, but I'm going to really fight the urge to purchase them, because I have enough charts to last me till I live to 300, I swear. So I'm going to try and not do any more purchasing, or at least if I finish one thing, I might then allow myself to purchase something new. But I'm going to look at my haul like a little shop, and that if I finish a piece, I go to my stash and shop from that and start something from that. I think that is hopefully how it's going to work. Don't hold me to it, because I'm really bad at when I see things and go, oh, I need that, I really, really need it, and then I'll buy it. So anyway, we'll see how we go. I do have a chart coming that I'm going to start in May for the King's coronation. I'm a bit of a royalist. I love the monarchy. And I'm going to start something in May for the coronation month. So that is one of the ones that's on its way. So that's also a plan. All right, so here we go. This is my little tiny haul from market. So remember me, beautiful, sampler, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love that. Teresa Kogut, just gorgeous. You've probably seen all these, but no, gonna show them anyway. All right, so this one is Beloved, Running with Needles and Scissors. That bird is just gorgeous, and that border, look at that border. I love a good border. The first thing I look at in samplers when I'm looking at samplers is the border. I don't know. It's like if it's got a really elaborate, gorgeous border, I love it, and I'll probably buy it. Maybe not anymore. Gorgeous. And then Twin Peak Primitives, Amish Country. I just love this because it's got the quilts on it, and I'm a little bit of a quilter, although I don't do much quilting anymore. But I just love that. I love the quilts on it. I just think that's really nice. So that is my tiny haul from market. That's it. I think that's all I have to talk about today. I've gone through everything on my notes, so thank you so much for tuning in and watching again. I really do appreciate it. Thank you again to all my new subscribers. I love it. And I may have a giveaway next video. We'll see. I've got plans to give away a chart and a bag to go with it, and maybe a needle minder. We'll see how it goes, if I get it done in time. So also update on the shop. Look out this week. I should be listing a lot of bags. I've got probably 50 ready to sew. So look out during this week. There should be quite a few bags being listed in this shop, probably towards the end of the week. But thank you for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Happy stitching. Thank you for watching. You can find me on Etsy, Facebook, Instagram, you know, everywhere. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.